Lesson 2.3 is called Approximations of Trigonometric Function Values. And our main goal is we're going to find the function values with a calculator. So this time for 2.3, you're allowed to use a calculator. And then the calculator I am recommending is called Desmos.com calculator. So when you see this question, use a calculator to find the decimal approximation. One of the things you have to make sure that when you are using Desmos, go to this graph settings, and then underneath at the end, make sure that you're using degrees if the question is using degrees. If the question has radian measure, then you can toggle to radian measure. But when I look at the question one, it's in degrees, so I'm going to use degrees. And then the first question is, I need to plug in cosine of 51 degrees. And then I'm just using my keyboard and typing. And the denominator is sine of 51. It gives me an answer, and the software says that round your answer to the 4 decimal places. So 0.80978, because of the 8, this is going to be 8098. So here I need to write 0.8098 for this question, and I will check my answer. Next question is another calculated application. As long as you type the question as it is, don't make a parentheses mistake, don't make a sign mistake, then you will get the answer. First of all, the function in number 2 is not cosine, so I need to type sine, space, parentheses. The first thing I see is a 90-degree minus 3.64. And then I don't even have to hit the equal sign. Desmos is giving me the answer. Simplify your answer, type an integer or a decimal, round it to 7 decimal places if needed. So I'm going to need 0. Now I need to count 7 digits. 99798226, because following digit is 4, so that allows me to keep the 6. I'm counting, and I did put 7 digits, and this is the answer they want for question 2. Now, this is important. For question 3, we have the cosine of theta. And then we want to find the angle this time. And this is not a famous cosine value that I can find the angle using my logic. So I have to use a calculator. So if the cosine value is given and you need the angle theta, you will do inverse cosine. So it will be cosine of power of -1. This is called inverse cosine, or sometimes they call it arc cosine. And you're going to open a parenthesis, and you will type the given cosine value here. The given cosine value is 0.61479342. And the angle we need is 50.0630886472. And type an integer or decimal rounded to the 6 decimal places. So I will tell them the angle is 52.0630. Instead of 88, I need 89, because 6 makes the previous digit go 1 higher. So this time we have the tangent value given for an angle, and we need to find that angle who has this tangent value. So -1 as a power is going to stay, but we're changing function to 10. So I need arc10. That's the function I need if the tangent value is given. And the tangent value for this angle is given as 0.67 for the 55733. I'm just going to double check if I copied everything right. And the angle is 34 point. Again, they want 6 decimal places after the decimal point. So I will tell them that the answer is 34.0019 and 22. So again, find the value of alpha in this interval, which has the cotangent alpha is given as this. So since we have the cotangent value, the function I need is now arc cotangent, or cotangent to the -1 power. And the value which is given is 1.5847931. So I am going to need, it still wants the 6 decimal places. So I'm going to give them the expected answer is 32.251811. We have the secant alpha and we're looking for the alpha. So basically, what must be the angle if its secant value is equal to this decimal number here? So the function on the calculator that I need to type will be inverse secant or secant to the -1 power. And the value given to me is 1.4741497. The answer will be 47.284601. Next question is, we have the sine of theta and we need to find the theta. So this part is going to change because we're going to use sine to the power of -1, or you can just simply write arc sine. And then we're going to also change the decimal from the previous question. This time the sine value is given as 0.85450786. So the angle will be 58.705408. So we have modeled this problem before. If secant alpha is given and you need the alpha, you're going to type inverse secant to the calculator. Now, for these questions, you don't have to even use a calculator. I don't care if the angle is 35 or 53. Sine squared of any angle plus cosine squared of any angle is always equals to 1 because of Pythagorean identity in pre-calculus class, in trig class. But if you type it to the calculator, it will still give you 1 as an answer. For this question, it's the same thing. If you have the sine of theta is given as this, and then we're looking for the theta, it's going to stay as inverse sine, and the decimal we're going to plug in will be 0.5782661. And then the answer will be 35 points, and they want the 5 decimal places, so it's going to be 32, 86, and 8. Let's see if we made any typing mistake. We have the sine of theta, type an integer or decimal to the 5 decimal places. Okay, so 0.5782661. I got this one right. So the answer is 35.32868. And then the rest of the digits are 15342, which doesn't affect my answer. I don't catch any mistake at this point. It wants the 5 decimal places and it is sine. So I'm going to keep checking and it's going to mark wrong. And I will tell you if this happens to you, what do you do? And now, when I get the answers, I noticed that I only give them one answer, but they were looking for 2 answers because both of these angles, they have the same sine value. And then for this question, I cannot email my instructor and ask for credit because here the problem is not I am typing one of the digits wrong or I'm writing it correctly, but it isn't taking it right. The problem is for this sine value, we had 2 angles and I needed to give them 2 angles because they were telling me that just give me all the angles who has the sine value from 0 to 360 degrees. So this time, you're just going to create a similar question, and then you're going to find the answer for the similar question to get the full credit here. So the number has changed. I am going to change my decimal number here. It's 87880. 361. And then the angle is, first angle I have to give them is 52.00487, comma. Now, sine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So I'm going to do 180 minus, I think it allows me to copy the answer from the first line. And then I can paste it here. So the other answer they will be looking is 127.99513, because they want 5 decimal places, and 2 will change it to a 3 because of 8. And then I can check this answer. Now I will get the full credit for this question, and this is end of 2.3.